This is the time for explaining fifth chapter of SS1, Culture and Nationalism. First of all, we should know what is culture. The ideas, customs, and social behavior of a particular people or society. That is culture. Now you are watching the symbols of the diversity of Indian culture, and we should keep in mind the fundamental feature that we have a feeling of oneness among us, irrespective of this cultural diversity. Jawaharlal Nehru, in his famous work, The Discovery of India, explains this feature of India as the unity in diversity, that we have a feeling of oneness irrespective of the Bengalis, Marathas, Gujaratis, Tamils, etc. And this feeling of oneness, irrespective of caste, creed, culture, is known as nationalism. Thus, let's define the word nationalism. It is the sense of unity that exists among the people of a nation, irrespective of caste, creed, region, and religion. There are several factors that contributed for the formation of this Indian nationalism. As we have learned earlier, the British exploitation and unity of the people against this exploitation is one of the factors that developed Indian nationalism. Similarly, many social and cultural spheres helped to develop nationalism among the people. Look at the screen. These are the two ideological and cultural protests developed in India during the 19th century. One, protest against inequality, violations of rights and social evils which existed in the Indian society. And this is against the superstitions of Indian community. Second, protest against the economic exploitation of the colonial forces. Now we discuss the colonial rule that paved the way for the development of nationalism. The British rulers realized the fact that the deep understanding of socio and cultural life of the Indians was needed for strengthening their rule. They learned about the Indian society from the works in Sanskrit and Persian language. For getting the details of Indian culture, they constituted different institutions. Look at the screen. For reaching their exploitation at its heights, they found the fact that there must be a free trade. And for ensuring this free trade, they started English education to nurture a fraction of Indian society that would support the British. In 1835, English education was introduced in India by Lord Macaulay, and his fundamental aim for providing English education in India was to make a group of people who has English taste and opinions. The English educated Indians learned the deepness of the concepts like democracy, liberty, rationalism, equality, scientific temper, socialism, civil rights, etc. They ventured to reform social customs and rituals prevailed in the country. They tried to reform Indian society, language, art, and literature. It motivated to protest against the inequalities and violations of rights and thus created a feeling of oneness among the people of India. Now let's discuss the factors other than British rule that developed Indian nationalism. They are social reforms, the newspapers, education system, literature, and art. These five are the important other factors that developed Indian nationalism. The first and foremost is social reforms. Now you are watching the pictures of social reformers, and I hope you have already learned their contributions in your previous classes. They had two main objectives in their social reform movements. One, to eradicate evils and superstitions that existed in the Indian society, and second is to ensure equal civil rights to education, travel, and dress code. These are the important proposals they put forward for social reformation. Look at the screen and read it carefully. And now you are watching the picture of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who was the pioneer among the social reformers in India, along with his contributions. And this is Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar from Bengal, argued for the remarriage of widows. And read his contributions too. This is Pandita Ramabai from Mumbai, who argued for women education in India. Here is a table for you which explains the important social movements and the reformers and their ideologies.